All right, this video is mostly for Jerome, our south neighbor. He just came back from the Middle East, and we're trying to figure out this south property line. And originally, David marked what he thought was the south property line, and then Jerome, the neighbor, hired a surveyor to come out and mark the property line. Now, the surveyor used GPS, and GPS can be up to like 16 feet off. So we know David thinks that his line's not exactly accurate, but we also think that the surveyor's line's not exactly accurate. So it's somewhere between David's line and the surveyor's line. So, somewhere between here and there, so on and so forth. And I started putting up a pallet fence up there, but I only have so much time in order to do stuff because I'm a truck driver. I work all week, and I was trimming trees up in Kansas City in the summer all week, so I only have the weekends to do stuff, and not much time. The story behind these pallets is David ignored what I said and decided to do it his way, and he built a pallet fence, which looked good, but he didn't have any T-posts in it to hold it up. And he did some kind of weird zigzag thingy where he cross-braced the fence with other pallets. Well, the wind destroyed the fence, and because it didn't have any T-posts to hold it up. So we basically piled them, most of them, these are in the road, piled them between where the surveyor says the line is and where David originally said the line was. And I did these. Somebody else was supposed to do these and they never did. People don't really do a lot of work around here when they're here all week long. I gotta do most of the work. On the weekends, I outwork pretty much everybody here, and I'm here less than they are. But anyway, so these pallets are stacked between the two supposed property lines markers. And once, we've been meaning to do something with these pallets, but again, I'm only here for one day out of a week, maybe two tops, and nobody else does anything around here. So yeah, I don't know what they do all week, but they don't do much. Whatever it is that they do, I don't know what it is. Playing on the phone mostly. But anyways, once we figure out where the line is, I want to put up goat fence here. And then I also put these, we moved the camper over so that if the surveyor's line is accurate, then the camper is moved over and out of the way. Also, with the camper moved over and out of the way, that cat camper down there, it gives us a better ability to survey the line to make sure it is or is not accurate. Now, it looks like David said his line looks like it goes that way and then that way. And the surveyor's line looks like it goes that way and then that way. So, again, like I said, it's somewhere in the middle. Because, see, it gets wider here. It starts out narrow up there and then gets wide down here and then gets narrow again up at the other end. So, one or both. Crap. I'm stuck caught up in these brambles. One or both of the lines are off. We just got to figure out by how much. and fix it. So, like I said, we've been waiting for Jerome to get here so that we can work with him to figure out where the accurate line is. Again, I believe it's somewhere between David's line and the GPS surveyor line. So it's somewhere in here. And once we figure out the accurate line, then we'll start putting up permanent fencing. Until we get down here to the creek, I do want to put up temporary fencing because I want to build a berm down here so that I can drive the property line. Now, if Jerome wants to drive his property line as well, then he can help me pay for, actually the neighbor on the north side has a excavation company. And he said he'll bring in clay and rock from my other property for $100 a load. So we can bring in clay and rock and build up this berm to where we can both drive the fence line, or I will do it on my side so that I can drive the fence line. And then we'll put a permanent fence there. And then you'll be, you, Jerome, will be able to have a pond on your side. We talked about that before, and I understand we were in agreement. But now that he's here, I want to make sure that we're in an agreement. So, anyways. So yeah, now from that, see, it goes like in a V shape from the corner to the camper, and then from here it goes in a V shape back that way towards the other corner. So it's like David's line starts getting narrow, but the gap between the surveyor's line and David Ray's line through here starts getting narrow again. But anyway, I want to bring in enough clay and rock from my other property to build up this berm down here. So however high it is over there, which is right about eye level here. So basically right about here was where the berm will start and go straight across to the other side. And then, like I said, I want to be able to drive the fence line so that I can come back here with my pickup truck or whatever and work back in here on different things. And then I want to start building all this up and make ponds over here, because we had a pond here. Well, the previous owner did, and but it blew out. So we build the berm up here. Jerome can have a pond on this side. And of course, we could bring in the backhoe and whatever and dig this up and make it a better pond. But I want to build the berm up here so we can drive the fence line. And we can both have ponds on either side. And blah, blah, blah. So I'm hoping he gets here. Or I'm hoping we can discuss it in person. But I'm doing this video so that he can see it. I'm going to put it on YouTube. Make it somewhat private. Well, nobody ever goes to my YouTube anyways. I don't do YouTubes anymore because they terminated my main account in 2017 because I had too much freedom fighter stuff on there, and Google's part of the New World Order, so they basically shut me up. Basically almost exactly 1 year anniversary before they got rid of Alex Jones, which is kind of weird. So, but anyways, so that's that. So once we figure out where the property line is, we'll make a permanent fence down to about here. Then we'll do a temporary fence down, or just start bringing in clay and rock and build the berm up to where we want it, and then put permanent fence in. But that's what those totes are for. And the pallets are for is a temporary fence until Jerome got here and we can figure out where the exact property line was. So it's a win-win solution. There's no fighting, no arguments. because we think the surveyor's off, and if we ignore the surveyor, then Jerome would have a problem with that. And but if we did not ignore the surveyor and it was inaccurate, then I would have a problem with that. So I want to have a win-win solution. So we started doing a temporary fence until we had a permanent solution that would satisfy both Jerome and me, and then everybody's happy. So that's a wrap. All right, bye.